Hello, everybody. It's Lauren Gabrielle, and this is the Everyday Magic vlog. I am coming to you from Kerala, India. And I actually, right before on my way home today, I made a note of the village that I'm in, and I promptly forgot it. Anyway, I will figure that out and let you know later. But this area is very famous for Ayurveda and holistic health and tourism. So it's meant to be a place where a lot of people from around the world come for Ayurvedic treatments. But honestly, I've only seen two other white people the whole time that I've been here. So I'm very much in the minority. All right. So today is going to be a bit longer because I've got a lot of time to catch you up. But I want to show you some and use the pictures to kind of keep myself on track. So I got here on Sunday, and this is Arjun, my amazing young guide that picked me up and is taking me everywhere and planned my itinerary. Kind of go through these pretty quickly, but if you look in the description, there's a link so you can go and go through these at your leisure. During this first part, there are quite a few bird watching videos. This was the long point from where we took off on our boat tour through the backwater. So in this particular part of India, there are backwaters, and then there's a little strip of land, and then there's the sea on the other side. So this is back in the backwater part in the mangrove forest, and it was a beautiful boat ride. We saw lots and lots and lots of birds. Again, you can come back and flip through these at your leisure. There are so many of them. If I pause too long on any of them, we'll be here all day. That's a kingfisher, and there are quite a few pictures of this little guy. Our boat driver was amazing. He brought the boat right up next to where these birds were perching and somehow managed to, there's a really good one of him, somehow managed to do this and get out making the bird fly away. I mean, it's like he was posing. It's so cool, right? Another that's a cormorant, I think, is that kind of bird, and an egret. Yeah, lots of bird pictures on this trip. Then we went to look how cool this guy is. You definitely want to come back and watch the video of this. I might post just the videos on their own and see how that works. Okay, and I totally should have curated these. And then there's some goats. Have you ever seen goats like this with those long curly ears? Look at his long curly ears. There we go. That's a good shot of him. Very cool. Okay, so also cows just wandering along the edge of the bank from pasture to pasture. They had halters and little ropes on them. Okay, then we went to, there's a little monument to a Christian church. This is relatively rare. Hindu is the big religion here, and there's a sprinkling of Christianity and Jainism and the other religions, but primarily this is a country, and it's really lovely that all of the people here still dress in their native attire. Another nearby Christian statue of I think that's Mother Mary holding the crucified body of Jesus. Could be Mary Magdalene. It's a woman. And I'm betting that's who it depends on who you talk to, right? Okay, this is a little resort that sits on an island out in the backwaters. And this is the sunset from another of those monuments. So this is the beach this is the ocean side, but we got out of the boat on this side, like behind me from this point of view, and walked across here. I got some pictures of the dogs. There's dogs everywhere, not like Peru, not as many as in Peru, but still there are lots and lots of dogs some of them have collars, and some of them are just wandering free. So we had a beautiful sunset, and we got to see the moon at the same time. That's one of my favorite things. All right. That was my dinner. That's another conversation. That was the other part of my dinner. I paid $45 for this, and I didn't eat hardly any of it. Okay, another view of the sunset, and then our nighttime ride home. Some kind of cool pictures of the nighttime. Sorry, I didn't mean for this to take so long to get through these. See how these cool, these are restaurants that you can only get to by boat. And look how lovely they're decorated for their nighttime visitors. Okay, so that brings us to my first full day of my Ayurvedic treatment. So this is the back of the resort where all of my things are happening. And this is, oh wait, hang on. This is also the view from the rooftop where I did my yoga, where I do yoga every morning with my own private yogi. I will introduce you to him in a moment. This is just a piece of artwork that was in the restaurant resort where we had breakfast. That's Ganesh, one of the Hindu gods. And you'd stop on the street and get a coconut. They just top off and stick a straw in it. So we stopped for one of those after breakfast. And then when you're finished drinking the water out of this, you give the coconut back to the guy and he cuts it in half and then makes a little round section of shell that you use as a spoon to scoop out the coconut. So cool. And this is just a temple that is in the neighborhood between here and the resort. And I love the colors and how they're just so, the characters are just so vivid in this. And my yogi says that Hindu is not a religion. It is a tradition. It is a philosophy. It is a way of life, that it's not a religion, although the rest of the world would say that it is. The most prominent character in most of these temples is Shiva. Is that Shiva? I think that is Shiva. I thought that there was one god that had multiple arms, but lots of gods and goddesses can be depicted with multiple arms. So that's not a clue. The clue that it's Shiva, and I can't tell in this photo, but there's a distinct mark on his forehead, and he always has a crescent moon. And there's usually a cobra. There's always a cobra nearby. So these are the bald guy is my yogi. His name is Jiju. And I'm going to, in a different area, provide links to get in touch with him. He does online courses. He does retreats in the Himalayas. He does amazing work all over the place. And he gets to be my private yogi. I'm so completely honored. And this is Shaji. He is my guide. He takes me to all of my meals, arranges all of my transportation, and just kind of looks after me. It's very, very cool. And this is Indu. She is Shanji's wife, and she is my therapist. She does all of my body treatments. And if you look at this poster in the background, that's one of the parts of the Ayurvedic body treatment, which is a full head to toe massage using specialized oils and herbs that are designed specifically for your body and the issues that you are working through, right? And these little pads that they're using are heated on like a little brazier thing. And that comes towards the end of the treatment. And oh, it feels so good. It's like beautiful little hot pads getting pounded all over your body. It's fabulous. So yeah, that's my beautiful Indu. We are good friends. And then last night, Arjun and I went to the cave temple and to another temple that is unpronounceable. I will find the name for you. But this is some of the artwork that's on the outside of the temple. I probably shouldn't call it artwork. This is some of the iconic imagery associated with this faith path that is on the outside of the temple. And, I guess you can draw the meanings that you draw from these. I personally find it interesting that within the cave temple where I wasn't able to take pictures, it's very, very graphic and sexual and nude women and nude men everywhere. And, all of these goddesses portrayed with their breasts proudly showing. And yet the Hindu women dress very modestly. So that's something for me to study and explore and be interested in and fascinated by on this amazing journey. Another of Ganesh. And again, these are all outside the temple. And this most definitely is Shiva. And he has his head turned away, but there's a better view of this. But there's the crescent there towards the top. And yeah, this picture is just too dark. I can't see where the snake is. Yeah, but it's giant. You can see how huge he is in comparison to the people. And Shiva is the destroyer, but he is also the inventor of dance, and he is depicted a lot of times in a yoga pose. He is said to be the creator of yoga. And another sunset, and the moon will be full tomorrow. So this is an almost full moon. Here's another angle of that same statue. All right. Oh, here we go, the landscape view with the sunset. It's just really, really incredible. And I think that is the last picture that I took for the night. So today I repeated everything from the morning, my morning yoga session at 6:30 on the rooftop, just as the sun is coming up. And today I got to walk there through the village. Now that I know where it is, I convinced them that I didn't need to be driven the 11-minute walk downhill to the Ayurveda spa and resort. So I went for my yoga. I met with the doctor again to check in with how things are going. And then I had another yoga treatment that today included some sort of nasal treatment where they put little drops in your nose and you like snort those into your head, and it's very burny and very bitter, and you kind of got to live with that for 5 minutes or so before you can go and swish out your mouth and blow your nose and all that stuff. So really interesting, and I'm not sure exactly what it's supposed to do, but they said that it would help with my shoulders. Go figure, right? One of the things that I learned a little bit about in my yoga session this morning is, and again, forgive me for hopping around, but this is my diary, so that's what we're here for. A mudra. You may have seen people meditating with their fingers together like this. This is a mudra, which I knew, but there's also, each of your fingers are a representation of one of the elements. And I'm not remembering it in exact order, but I think it was fire and water, and then space, air, and earth were the others. And so each mudra has a different meaning and a different energy influence during your meditation. So that's something else that I'm going to study up on. And he also mentioned something that was very interesting to me, that if you look at powerful men throughout the world and you see them doing things like this, like holding their hands together like this, and those are mudras. And he said that they're secretly going to the Himalayas and learning from these magic men who don't care about their money, don't care about anything, because they can manifest anything that they want. That these men are going and getting this advice from them, which I think that's pretty interesting. Whether, and again, this falls under the category of let everything be possible and don't insist on anything being the truth or the facts of the matter, right? So, okay, so I am back early today. It's only about noon, and sadly, most of the world is asleep. My New Zealand and Australian friends might be awake, but most of my peeps in London and Ireland and the United States are sound asleep at this time. So this will be something that you'll wake up and catch up on. And again, these are meant to be only 5 minutes, but I had to pack about 3 days into this vlog. And I have probably forgotten something. The Women Lighting the Way Summit is coming up in December. If you look in the description, there's a link to find out all about that. Please join me. I am one of the speakers. I recorded that story this morning. And honestly, I don't think I did a great job, but hopefully it will be an okay job and will be inspiring and uplifting for someone. One of the things I discovered or figured out as I was planning it is that I've only been on this transformation journey for about 14 years. I was 46 when I hit my last rock bottom and started trying to figure out how to claw my way back to a well-loved life, right? So it hasn't been that long since I was, drunk and bankrupt on my sister's couch, and to now when I am fearlessly, boldly, and courageously exploring the world under my own steam, happy and free and not seeking and not running away. So that's kind of the story that I talked about on the summit, but that's also the story that I tell all the time and the story that I teach. So, if you want to shed the chains that society and religion and our culture put on us and figure out who you are, remember who you are, and begin to live your life from this powerful, purposeful, calm, confident, courageous place, I can give you some tools to help you figure that out. So hang out with me. And one of the great places to hang out with me is in Magic Makers. Magic Makers is the inner circle of my everyday magic environment on Substack. It sounds more complicated than it is. There's a link there that you can click on, and you get all kinds of amazing things as part of this closer group. I talk about things there that I don't talk about out in the world because they're too personal, they're too risky. For a myriad of reasons, that's a place that we get to have conversations that aren't appropriate for the public, but they are appropriate for our inner circle. And we also have almost daily body magic. Again, I've had to adjust my schedule this week because the yogi and the doctor and the treatment people have kept so much of my schedule occupied. But usually, no matter where you are in the world, you can find one time a day that you can join to do this magical body work that we do. And I'm going to come back and talk with Candace, who helped me create this, later this week, maybe next week, and share more about that. But in the meantime, just click on that button and you'll find a link to Daily Body Magic. You can learn more about that there. And this is the way for $11 a month that you can be in my inner circle and be privy to all the goings on behind the scenes in everyday magic, the sacred ordinary. That's what we're creating, and I hope that it is what you will create for yourself too. And I will see you hopefully in 24 hours or so for another Everyday Magic vlog. See you soon.